I have $622,000 in loans.
$632,000 in what?
I've been retained with her since August of last year. However, she's requested.
But I've got about $40,000 in debt from what seems like you guys call normal debt, credit cards.
The third thing is always get it in writing. They get no money unless you have in writing.
There's one other X factor. Because, with my dad's situation, I recently settled a lawsuit.
Number 5, $622,000 in debt. In this video, Jamal discusses his struggling online business, which has been struggling for the past year. He has a total of $622,000 in loans on credit cards and business loans, totaling $27,000 and $325,000. The business has 2 stores, with one store making $4,000 or $5,000 a month.
Business was doing okay, and then last year it started not doing okay, and they stopped dealing in the laptop that I was buying from them. I had a couple of suppliers, couple of wholesale customers line, and then they put a lien on my bank account. Now I can't run my business. So then I make less and less money. Revenue went down. It's 2 stores, and I can actually sell one of the stores.
Jamal's online sales have gone down, and he is currently going through divorce. He has been making minimum payments for almost 2 months.
And I was just buying big lots from them, cleaning it up, and selling it that in the evening. $22,000 in loans.
In loans. On what? And you can go back and clean them up as the last step in cleaning up this $600,000.
And he is at a stage where he can only make minimum payments. Jamal has been an IT consultant for the past 4 years, and before opening the business, he was doing about $1 million a year online. However, after stopping paying, he was held by online creditors, including eBay and Amazon, who had a UCC filed against him. The creditors have taken the UCC and owe him $297, which is divided among 6 creditors. Jamal is now at a stage where he can only make minimum payments and is considering selling the store or saving up for a new store.
I was counting on 2 suppliers. I was dealing with them for about 6-7 years. $297,000 business and $325,000 credit card.
Well, you'll go back and get it cleaned up. You can settle these credit cards for 25 cents on the dollar once they go bad.
Dave discusses the loss of their online business due to the supplier and customer attrition and their distractions from home life. According to Dave, focusing on online income to clear debt and avoid a lawsuit from creditors. He suggests that Jamal should do court plowing through debt and cleaning up credit cards. He also suggests not paying any credit cards yet. Dave's experience of going bankrupt at 28 years old, overcoming creditors and repaid most of the debt, left him feeling empty and traumatized. But now, Dave encourages others to do the same and not look back and feel regretful for their actions. He encourages others to do everything they can to avoid such a life-changing decision and to be proud of their efforts. Number 4, over $380,000 in debt. John is a 28-year-old student in Texas, working on his doctorate degree in organizational leadership with a focus on healthcare administration.
But it's the only advice I've been given up to this point.
And you go ahead and get your career track started now instead of a $38,000 job.
So I have about $300,000 in student loans. I did, yes.
Yeah. I mean, with $300,000 plus continuing to pile it up. You're so far into this, I can't pull you back. But the bet that you've made is untenable.
He has about $300,000 student loans, $40,000 personal loans, and $26,000 credit card debt. His wife and they have a total of $57,000 together after taxes. Last year, his parents advised him to file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, but he has been advised to suspend or push the bankruptcy until later this year. John is skeptical about this advice, but he is considering whether to continue on this path or follow Chapter 7 and follow a different set of resources. John and his wife are struggling financially with a household income of $57,000. They are working full-time and have a PhD in chemistry and respiratory care. If they file for bankruptcy, they will not receive a student loan. John is concerned about their debt and the potential impact on their income. They have bet the entire amount on their PhD, which is over $300,000.
Right now, we bring home a total of about $57,000 together.
You can file 7 if you want to and clean up some of that stuff.
Because she wants to see how the elections turn out and see if maybe with the new party coming in, if she can bankrupt.
But you've got to, in good conscience, you can't continue borrowing if you're not going to pay other people you owe.
And are considering working with healthcare companies to accelerate their completion. They are under immense stress and want to find a way to complete their PhD without further debt. Dave suggests that they should pay for their PhD without filing bankruptcy and work on addressing other debts from multiple fronts. Dave encourages them in seeking counseling and help from financial coaches to help them overcome their financial struggles. Number 3, over $750,000 of debt. For many prospective dental practitioners, student debt has become a major problem.
Going to graduate dental school in May.
And it's no big deal, but it was a good school. It's not a good school. Good
Other
Lord.
than that, she's got to...
And go make $300,000 or $400,000 between the two of you. You can pay this off in maybe 3 years.
In the market, she's been looking already. It seems like she's going to start off somewhere between $175 to $225 a year.
Dentistry students now have an alarmingly large amount of debt due to the high expense of dental school and escalating tuition costs. However, several of these students are unaware of just how concerning this may be, particularly when the debt is in the tens of thousands of dollars. The same as Daniel from Chicago.
And you said she's graduated? Or she's still in school?
No, she will graduate in May.
But you have, in order to run away from a problem, you first have to realize that it's a problem.
So I'm not too savvy on all that. She's waiting for some sort of...
And part of solving this is going to be that you say out loud, and she says out loud,
who recently wed his fiancée after dating her for 10 years. Dave, on the other hand, considers it a little over the top when Daniel explains their current predicament as a result of their debt, because it could take them years or possibly even a lifetime to pay back this $750,000 debt. In his opinion, Daniel's speech pattern and sentence structure demonstrated their lack of seriousness about the issue they are facing. Even if his wife is about to receive her degree, the student loan mishap was a major mistake. She made a tremendous error because a degree in dentistry is overvalued, as the financial situation is twice as bad as it should be.
Yeah, it's a good school, but it's expensive.
What has happened here? It's in the rearview mirror, and I'm not trying to shame her. You have
I
no
got
idea
about-
what you just said. And keep this around for the next 2 decades.
Number 2, $150,000 in credit card debt. Mark, a New York City man, has been struggling with debt and credit card debt for years. His father passed away in October 2017, and he recently settled a lawsuit. Mark is now employed, but struggles to get his life back in order. His debts are over $150,000, and he hasn't looked at them in 3 years. He has about 5 different credit cards and is not doing 12-step, as he grew up Catholic and returned to his faith in Christ. Mark has 2 figures from Citibank and $22,000 from JP Morgan, with 73 million fees added to their debt. If they sell their debt to a debt buyer, they will buy the money for $50. Mark's situation is overwhelming.
It's embarrassing to even say. Goodness,
A debt buyer will buy that money approximately a nickel on the dollar.
It just snaps. You become dependent on these things.
Oh, yeah. They're good to you. 9,000 people in cubicles with fluorescent lights calling people all day long.
That's the last time I looked at it. I don't even know where the debt is or who bought it or where.
And he needs a game plan to help him overcome his financial struggles. Dave describes the situation where a credit card collector constantly calls people to get money out of them. They are trying to get money out of them by paying a nickel on the dollar for every dollar owed. They can do this easily and pay the original balance in full, but they are likely to argue with them a lot more and try to stick Mark with the debt. Dave suggests that debt consolidation is not effective, as they will create another mess for Mark. Instead, he should focus on settling the debt,
trying to get money out of them, and couldn't get a better job, so they've got a really bad job called credit card collector.
I'm going to turn 31.
Okay. I'm sorry about your dad. How long ago did he pass? And they don't last very long on the job, and they lie, and they yell, and they do anything they can do to get money out of you.
It was because my father died a tragic death, and I went through a lawsuit which recently settled.
and obtaining a copy of his credit bureau report. He should not pay more than the original principal balance, as they are likely to come after Mark for more than that. If he wants to argue for a little less, he can do so, but only pay what he owes. In summary, Dave emphasizes the importance of avoiding debt consolidation and focusing on settling the debt through various means. By doing so, Mark can work through the situation and ultimately get back on track. Number 1. $540,000 in debt. Chris, an Atlanta resident, is struggling with debt and a 3-month-old baby. He has a debt of $170,000 in student loans.
So I'm just calling for help. I don't even know where to start.
Gotcha. So how much debt do you have, sir? Because that gets the stress off of you, see? And here's the thing. It's not a permanent decision.
Including the house, $524,000.
Okay. And how much of that is the house?
2 cars cash, and then sell her car also. And just have a couple
I'm in. That's awesome.
Okay.
So food, shelter, clothing, transportation, and utilities before you do anything else. So you pay your car payments, you keep gas in the cars, you keep going to work.
A Parent Plus loan, and a Parent Plus mom. He is also committed to his parents and has a Parent Plus loan. To help him, Dave suggests that Chris needs to create a written budget, which includes food, lights, water, house payments, shelter, clothing, transportation, utilities, and car payments. He should also pay his car payments and work to ensure his wife can stay employed. To reduce stress, Chris should lay down a written plan and use every Dollar Calm app to create a unique budget each month. This will help him focus on the most important expenses and limit his stress.
I could feel it when you were talking to me. You know how I know? Because I've been there. The year Rachel was born, my daughter,
$2,000 left on a hospital bill that we're paying off for the newborn.
so I know how it feels to be that scared and have babies on the way, right?
And my wife has $90 in student loans.
He can then think about ways to increase his income or sell his truck to get the debt under control. The Dave Ramsey Show offers financial guidance to help Chris turn his situation around. If Chris decides to go through Financial Peace University, they will walk with him through the process. It is possible to change if he ever makes a stupid decision. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.